Now dingoes actually come in 3 different colours. Most people really know them as coming, or most commonly coming in the colour that King is here, so that real orange or ginger colouring with the white markings. And that is the most common colour in the dingo, and they are very widespread across Australia, so that colour can be found in all states of the country pretty much. The second colour, obviously behind us, is the white or cream, and they're called alpine dingoes. So they were originally found and known to thrive in the alpine regions of Australia, meaning snowy mountains and the colder climate areas, so further down south. But nowadays, all 3 colours can actually thrive in just about any environment. And the third one is black. So it's pretty rare to see. I've never seen one, and to really have a fair chance of seeing one, you'd have to go right up north into the rainforest, and they are called the rainforest dingo. But they all can be found and seen just about everywhere now. But in saying that, today there is only estimated to be only 3% of dingoes in the wild are actually pure. So most dingoes out there today are actually hybrid dingoes, or they're dingoes that are crossbred and interbred with domestic feral dogs. So unfortunately today it's almost to the point where it's safe to say there's no such thing as a pure dingo anymore, which is really sad, I think. And it's those hybrid dingoes that are out there now that are giving the dingoes a bad name, and have actually gradually increased the problem that these guys are causing. And what I mean by that is the negative effect that dingoes or the feral dogs are having on the rural industry particularly. So further out west on cattle and predominantly sheep stations, with these guys taking down and feeding on sheep. But unfortunately, it is most likely that the ones that are actually having that impact are those hybrids that have bred with working dogs that have managed to escape or run off properties, or be fixed out there and have bred with the dingoes. And what's encouraged that to happen as well is there's been attempts over the years to actually eradicate dingoes from certain areas of the country, try and wipe out populations in certain areas, but it hasn't been thorough, and all it did was completely destroy their natural social structure and their natural packs out of the wild. So they've gone and plucked 2 or 3 out of each pack over certain areas, and then that pack structure is destroyed, and they turn to anything and everything they can to breed with, just through instinct. And that's when dogs off properties have got away and had run-ins with the dingoes, and then they've bred and created that feral dog. So unfortunately nowadays the dingoes are a pretty touchy thing to talk about, very controversial, and the government is still battling with conservationists on actually trying to protect these guys. The government is very against it still today, so it's still a battle for us to try and help support them. I personally think that we need these guys in the environment out there. As I said, it's very controversial, so I don't really try and go into that too much, in my opinion, personally. But they are our largest land predator in this country, and you take that away, basically what's going to happen, all those smaller animals that are under or lower on the food chain, particularly all the introduced animals that are quite a large pest here, will skyrocket. Things like rats and mice and rabbits are the most common. Without animals like these guys out there, those numbers would just skyrocket and become, I think, in the long term, a much larger issue than what the dingoes are today. Unfortunately nowadays there's only 2 places left in the country that is believed to have pure lines of dingoes. One being the Simpson Desert, which there's not many people obviously right out that way, so there's no impact on them out there. And the second one, which is now also becoming a huge problem, is Fraser Island. Anyone been to Fraser Island? Yep. Lovely place over there, but unfortunately today even the dingoes there are suffering, and once again it's just because us as people have interfered with yet another animal and caused it to become an issue. Once upon a time you could go over to Fraser Island, you could sit on your deck chair out on the dunes of the beach and watch them run past without an issue. They wouldn't come near you. Just have the odd 1 or 2 that were actually friendly around the resort bed. You could hand feed every now and again, and they were fine. But today they've been hand fed by so many people now that the dingoes dingoes rely on people. They don't hunt for themselves over there. And now they actually will snatch food from people, and that's why there's been attacks, numerous attacks over there towards people now. Dingoes go to try and help themselves, just through what we taught them is okay, and when they can't have what they want, that's when they turn aggressive. They get frustrated as to why they can't have the food, and then that's when we have attacks happen. And we actually had one fairly recent attack about 3 weeks ago now, over there, a German tourist, obviously partying it up as you do when you go on holidays, had a few drinks with his mates and wandered off from his camp into the bush and decided to lay down or passed out in the bush a few hundred metres from his campsite, and wondered why he was almost mauled to death. So he was in a very critical condition, survived, but some of you may have heard the stories over the years anyway of the dingo that stole or ate my baby. That's a very touching thing to talk about as well. But unfortunately, before we interfered with their whole structure, nothing ever happened from them. So that's basically what they're going through at the moment. But where the dingoes actually came from, how they entered Australia, and when they got here, still today is a bit of a mystery. There are many theories now that have been concluded from different people researching. But first remains ever found of a dingo here were proven to be at least 4,000 years old when they were studied. But it's believed that they haven't been here any longer than 12,000 years ago, simply because no remains of a dingo were ever found in Tasmania. So they never made it that far south before that land broke away. So between 4,000 and 12,000 years ago, and it's believed that they